with Des and Zane.
I'm Carissa Des.
And I am Zane Thomas.
And we are here to talk about local Portland music. We have a special guest today. A Revolution is here to join us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. We started clapping last time, so now we have to do it every time.
Yeah. We'll add some claps later.
In post. We'll put it in post. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm really excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I just have a couple questions. How did you get so good at freestyling? I know everyone's got to ask you that, but that's the one I need to know because I want to get better. I know Des likes to freestyle.
Yeah. I guess I really started freestyling 2 years or a year and a half ago, I think. In February. I was really bad. Practice, man, practice. I had a great group of people around me who were down to freestyle and to, work on things. There was no judgment, and that's what I really liked about it. And that's the only thing that's helped me. It's just like freestyling with other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
That aren't like, oh, you're fucking terrible,
Yeah, yeah. So it's just kind of having.
That's what my friends say. They're like, just don't do it. But I think you're probably more talented than me. So.
No, or she just has better friends.
I need to practice in my shower more. But you've been making hip hop music for like 10 years, over 10 years now, and playing piano. So you've been making music, producing music for some time.
Yeah, I was played piano guitar for 12 years. I think 8 years of it, though, I really kind of just didn't really do it. And I didn't release my first song until when I moved to Portland, which is August, will be 2 years, because I didn't know about DistroKid, and I was like, oh, that's how all these, people are putting out whatever they want is just going through DistroKid.
Yeah.
What is that?
So it's a distribution service. So if you want to get your music out there to Spotify, Apple Music, all that, all you have to do is $19.99 a year,
Okay. And, so it's kind of like Anchor, which is for podcasts, but for music, kind of.
Right.
Or puts it out to all the different platforms.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm learning new things today too.
Yeah. You're already on top of it. So you said that you were playing guitar, playing piano. Was that something kind of like where you started, where you're like, yo, I just want to be on the musical side of this, and then you found out that you were gifted lyrically as well, and that was something you started to pursue, or?
Yeah, because I actually started with spoken word. So I did spoken word a lot in North Carolina, and then. I started playing piano by accident. I was in Chicago.
Did you fall on a piano?
Yeah. I started playing Fur Elise
with my elbows. And I was like, I guess I'm good.
Well, no, in school, around, I don't know how old you are, but back then,
30.
music, music class was mandatory. So right, you learn Every Good Boy Does Fine and stuff like that. And I was at my aunt's house, and she had a piano and had something open, and I just tried playing it, and she was like, wow, that was really good. And just from there, I kind of just started taking that, and then I got into trombone, and then I got into a band because I thought I was going to play piano for the band, but they handed me a guitar, and I only knew Crazy Train, and they're like, you did better than other people that came in, so.
And I just kind of, Ozzy Osbourne?
Yeah, that's the only one I could play.
Yeah.
That's good, though.
So it just kind of transformed into, from that and spoken word into mostly just hearing my perception terrible rappers and being like, I can do that. I heard you guys famous. So I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're here.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of inspiration is just kind of seeing where it could be better and then literally being the change you want to see.
Yeah, right? A Revolution.
Yeah. So where did you get that name?
So 12 years ago, I had Young Revolution for my PlayStation. That was my name.
Okay.
And then when I started getting into music, I was like, well, I want to keep Revolution, but I added the A and the apostrophe because my name's Alexandra, and the apostrophe denotes ownership. So this is my revolution. I want to...
The revolution of self.
Yeah, the revolution of self, and just inspire people to be authentic with themselves and their music because, there is a formula and what people like, but that doesn't mean you can't be yourself and still kind of put some twang on it or something.
Yeah, put some twang on it.
Yeah, I like that. A lot of people, I feel like when they first start making music, try to be like someone else. And of course, we want to have that inspirational band or artist that we look up to, but just going into it, wanting to have your own style and do your own thing, I think is really awesome. And that's, I think, how people make it is by having something different where people are like, oh wow, I've never seen something or heard something like this before. So that's the way to do it for sure.
Yeah.
So, other than making music, don't you have like a show that you put on too?
Yeah, so we were talking about freestyling. Cipher Saturdays is something I put together with another artist, Wasabi B, who's my first producer for this song, for my first song, Style on him. And because we used to freestyle together, he's the one that got me really into freestyling. And we used to do it, I called it Cipher Saturdays, and it was just me and him, or sometimes even just me, streaming from my phone on Instagram in the basement of the band house I lived in.
Yeah,
So,
I love DIY stuff like that.
yeah,
Like, man, this used to be garbage.
yeah, and now we're here, so.
Like we were talking about, you can kind of see where you started from the bottom, and
Yeah.
you see the. Especially when you're live and you put, have everything out there on the internet, people can see, where you started and your progress, which I think is really fun.
Yeah, and I like that Cipher Saturdays is all live, so it's all, it's a bunch of artists getting together, freestyling off the top, and then I usually have 2 producers, sometimes just one, and they'll play their beats and freestyle it. We just freestyle off of it. We always have pizza and, drink usually.
Oh, man, I learned how to freestyle if you have pizza.
I'm saying,
freestyling again.
It's like you can't have pizza if you don't
I will be there
freestyle.
next Saturday.
Hey.
You don't have to put us on camera, but I do want pizza.
Well, you're more than welcome to come, too. The next
Yeah.
one's in 2 weeks, May 7th, so.
Okay, May
Cool to
7th.
have
May
you there.
7th,
Yeah.
and how do we watch that?
So May 7th at 7 p.m. you can go to arevolutionmusic.com/live. You can tune in then. Also, you can check out all the previous Cipher Saturdays we've had, because we now host it at Page Street Sound Lab. We have a professional video, audio and visual with SpectraVision, and it's been amazing. It's something that they continue to put on for the community, and I really enjoy it. So
Awesome.
check it out.
Yeah.
So, are your artists that come on to freestyle, are they up and coming, or are they like just brand new, or is it kind of like a range of?
It's definitely a range. We have a lot of artists of different skill levels, and that's what I love about it, right? Because you can't get better unless you practice. So that's kind of where it is.
You kind of got to practice with people who are better than you.
Right, because then you got to be like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be better than that person.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You're
Right?
like, I got to practice. Like,
Some healthy competition.
Right, yeah, healthy.
It's always necessary.
It is, I
Yeah.
think so.
So as far as like the artists and stuff that you have, is it like, are they people who have freestyled before? Are they people you've seen freestyle that can? Are they people who rap and you're like, can you freestyle? And you give them opportunity?
That's also kind of a mixture of both. There's some people who used to freestyle and then they didn't for 8 or 9 years, and they're like, yeah, it's really good to get back into it. There are some rappers where I'm like, and not just rappers, we also have R&B artists. We've had Vina Baby and I'm trying to get Rain Ezra to come through.
Ooh,
yeah, she's
yeah.
super busy though. So it's just really nice, the collaboration of everything. But yeah, some rappers, some singers, some just people who want to come by and check it out.
Sure, absolutely. And I have a question. So I was trying to find some of your music. Where would I find that? Because I clicked on the link in your link tree. And it took me to Cipher Saturdays, and I was like, "This is cool, but I want to find the music."
Right,
I saw
right.
some videos.
You have to look a little bit. I found a Spotify link there.
Yeah, so
Oh, you're on
it does go to my website. Right now I have it set to .com/live because of the cipher. I want people to go there first. But if you do go to the website, arevolutionmusic.com, and you can click on the music tab or /music, and you can find it there. Or just _revolution on all platforms.
Okay,
Except
cool.
Pandora for some reason.
Come on, Pandora, it's fine.
Right.
I just play the same 4 songs anyways.
Right, who
They're
uses
like, we
that
made you
anymore?
a radio. You're like, did you? I've already heard these songs.
Yeah, so that's definitely the best way to find it. I would say is everything you need to find, arevolutionmusic.com.
Okay, cool. No,
Perfect.
that's awesome.
Check it out. So we were talking a little bit about competition, and something that I noticed about the Portland hip hop scene anyway is that there is a lot of competition, and I've kind of noticed that when people are starting to make a come up, there are a lot of haters, and I feel like there's not a lot of support. Do you see that? Kind of your realm.
I kind
community?
of, I'm still new here, in a way, so I'm kind of getting to see everything. I do see that at least part of the community I am when it comes to hip hop is pretty tight knit. So after a few years, things can, just like any friendships, any relationships, that things can kind of get a little rowdy. But I feel like I've gotten a lot of support out here, and I don't know if it's because I'm not involved with everything that does go on.
Stay out of the drama.
Right, yeah, pretty much. I do. I stay out of the drama.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like I've gotten a lot of support. I mean, if there is any hate, I mean, I haven't heard it. I mean, not even a bad comment on Instagram. So that's nice. I like to stay positive. And I want to encourage artists to just be more supportive. You know, if you feel like somebody's better than you, or, like, you know, somebody doesn't like you because you're better than them, then, I don't know, you can either talk about it or just, you know, do your own thing, but there's no reason to hate, you know what I mean? You can just
absolutely
go away. So I think that is something that might need to be worked on in Portland, in the music scene. So.
Well, the thing that, like, I've always kind of noticed with, like, any sort of performance is that, like, you know, people will not like you if you're not good.
Right.
And then they'll not like you if you're better than them.
Right.
Yeah.
So either you're exactly where they're at and you're their best friend, or you know, and that was something that I guess I kind of had to come to terms with, is that, like, you know, either you're not going to like me because I'm here, you're not going to like me because I'm here, and, you know, when am I ever going to find that balance? So I think, you know, just kind of what you were saying is, like, hey, you know, be you, you know, continue to be you, and if you can't have those conversations with people to, you know, hey, if there's beef, I want to talk to you. If you don't like me for a reason, let's talk about it. But, you know, just, I think that's a really positive outlook.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
No, I appreciate that. So when you're writing your songs, what do you write about, right? Because when you're freestyling, that's just, like, off the top. You're probably doing punchlines. You're probably, you know, what when you sit down to, like, write a song, what comes to mind? Where do you write from?
Recently, I guess because I'm getting, like, you know, again, fairly new, about a year and a half into it, it's been more of, like, I'm the shit, kind of, right? Because I feel like I have to prove myself and jump in hardcore. The little things that I did do, I used to upload stuff to Facebook videos and just, like, the short 30-second things. And it used to be always about, you know, something positive, like a story, and I kind of didn't get much pull then.
Sure.
But now I look back on it, I just wasn't all that great. You know what I mean? Like, the lyrics were there, but my confidence wasn't there. You know, my sound, the delivery was what was missing. Garrett Scheider of Parliament Funkadelic, I went to hang out with him. He was like, you rap like you're selling Girl Scout cookies, blah, blah, blah.
What does that mean?
Like, I was too soft, right? Like, so I actually needed that.
Girl Scouts to break that stereotype.
Right, like Boondocks. And
want some cookies?
But nah, it was something I needed. So I'm, like, really glad he said that. And then from then on, I'm just getting more and more confident with my voice and, like, you know, getting it out there. So now that I've done that and also proven that I am a rapper, I want to prove that I'm an artist by, you know, implementing the storytelling part of things. And like I said, I like to keep things positive. Off my newest EP that released January 1st, called Versatile. It's just 4 songs, and then each song is different. You know, the first one's Big Talk. It talks about, and if you have a problem with me, let's talk it out. Otherwise, you know, we can solve it now, like, you know, or just walk away from it. And then Day Like This is just about violence, about how people who do have a problem with each other usually end up resorting to gun violence. And it's like I'd rather go to the hospital with, you know, some broken bones or something than to go to, you know.
Go to the morgue. 100%.
So yeah, it definitely varies. I have a song I'm working on now called Sword Master. It's a Afro Samurai.
Hey.
It's just a summary, basically, of Afro Samurai and a rap.
That's dope. I love samurais. Not afros.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I wouldn't think so.
Might have to get you on that track.
Hey. Oh, man. Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
So are there any, of course, but I was going to say, do you have any artists that inspired you growing up? But I'm going to rephrase that. Who were your, like, favorite artists growing up, and also which ones were your biggest inspiration?
So my parents are a lot older. I was raised on, like, a lot of old school music, like funk and, like, real R&B, like rhythm and blues type. And Isley Brothers was a big influence for me, right? Because I'm, like, again, guitar
like hearing
and piano
it when you say it. Yeah,
right, yeah, like all that kind of stuff. Parliament Funkadelic, obviously, I do love funk music. And then, you know, as I got a little bit older and my older brothers would listen to stuff, and it was like Nas and Talib Kweli and I don't know, Damian Marley. Just a lot of people who, when you hear them, you know it's them, right? And that's what I want, is like people hear A Revolution and they're like, oh, like, I don't even need to look at the song. Like I know that's her.
I really like that you say that, because that's definitely, you know, that's something that I wanted without knowing that I wanted it.
Right. Yeah.
You know, where it's just like, oh, okay, I know who this is, or like you're checking the name just to be like, yeah, I thought I knew who this was.
Like I nailed it every time. Just, you know, so that's definitely just. Yeah, I love people who are authentic and are able to take their authenticity and be like, hey, like, this is the wave now. Like, this is what's good to me, and other people feel the same way. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, that's. I have a question though. So you were talking about producing music, right? Or at least playing music.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever get into production? Is it something that like you still kind of have a heart for? Because like I started off rapping, and then I didn't have a producer, so I started producing, and then I was able to like kind of make my own stuff, and it's like I do enjoy rapping, but a part of me just really likes making beats.
Right. Yeah.
So did you ever feel like that, where you're like, a part of you's like, I kind of want to play guitar right now?
Yeah. A little bit. I kind of went straight into
the means.
Yeah. It just I kind of went straight into, I wouldn't say like fame, as you know, when I started playing at 16, but I was a part of a group where we toured a lot. And so it was a lot of cover songs. We did have a few songs that were released overseas. And I don't know, I guess I kind of got that fill out because it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. Being on tour that young is kind of, you know, it takes a toll on you for sure.
Yeah.
And then just the practicing, you know, we call it woodshedding because you're just practicing like constantly. Preparing for shows.
Woodshedding, I've never heard that term before.
It's a little southern terms, East Coast southern terms.
That seems like where they would have woodshed.
Yeah, just practicing a lot. Like, you know, in a woodshed, just going in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seems, I don't know, I guess some people would say it's not, but it was easier for me, like, to just rap, right? Because I did the spoken word for so long.
Yeah.
Now I just have to put some rhythm and some, you know, some energy to it. So it just seemed like it was a lot easier, and it's also easier because you don't really have to rely on anybody else, right? In a band, it's hard, man, staying in a band and getting everybody on the same page.
The second you
I've been trying to start a band for like 10 years now. I've gotten very close, but there's always like one person who flakes out.
Yeah, every time.
Like, I guess I'm now the bassist because my bassist left.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we'll just play a backing track with the bass, and next thing you know, it's all backing tracks. So you're like,
exactly. Then now I'm just a rapper.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of, I like rapping more. I would like to get back into guitar a little more, implement it for sure though.
Just kind of Afro man it up, where you like rapping, playing guitar at the same time and stuff 100%. Like that. Like do some Caleb Wildcard.
Yeah, or just like rap and then like pull it out for a guitar solo.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I started playing guitar too because like I said, I started rapping, and then like I didn't have anybody to make music for me, so I started playing guitar, and it was like that was the thing I always wanted to do. Is I always wanted to be like, all right, here's the thing that I can do. Here's the other thing that I can do. Right. So that's super dope. The thing I was going to ask you about piano is that something that like have you been able to like apply any of this like music production? Did you ever like get into it at all, or was it just like you played in a band?
It was just I played in a band, and I had a manager who just controlled everything, and it was like, oh, like it's exposure, you know, and practice, right? You know, no money or anything. Chitlin circuit.
Circuit. Man. That's something I definitely haven't heard.
Oh, for real? Chitlin circuits, like you're going on tour and just doing a bunch of shows and you're not getting paid, right? Like,
you get paid in exposure.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. That's the chitlin circuit, man.
Fucking chitlin circuit. That's what I'm gonna start calling shit.
It's fucking chitlin circuit.
How long do you think that people actually like do the? Would you say chillin circuit? Is that what it is? Chitlin circuit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chitlin circuit.
How long do you think that people usually have that phase before they like start making money that you two have noticed in like the music world?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like some people do the chitlin circuit so long that they get discouraged and think they'll never get paid for their work, or they'll do the chitlin circuit and just give up on it because they're not getting paid. They're like, well, this is going nowhere. So it's kind of a hard balance. I mean, all I can say is like exposure's great at the rip, but as you get older, you know, you have bills to pay. When I was younger, it was like, that's cool, I can do the chitlin circuit. You know, my mom and dad are paying for everything. So, but you know, you get older, it's like, well, I want to do this, I'd love to do it for free, but I can't. Now I have to work and pay these bills instead of following my passion.
Can't pay my therapy bills with exposure. I mean, there's exposure therapy, but like, it's
not
the same.
You do therapy for me, I'll tell my friends about you, you know?
Exactly.
That doesn't work.
You do a trade.
I got you booked next week for good show.
Yeah.
So you were talking about making beats. Do you make all of your beats now for when you record your raps?
I actually don't make beats at all.
Oh,
I
no
would
beats
like
at all.
to.
You
Yeah.
would?
Okay.
I would like to. All the songs that I've had are from local producers who I'm like, hey, let's collab. You know, I'm a full-time student. So people know I'm pretty broke, for now.
Yeah.
So it's been cool to see people who want to collaborate, and I get people who have to pay bills. There are some producers I'd love to work with, but they require money, and that's cool because it is what it is.
Well, yeah, it's like you want to pay people for what their work. You know, like
but if I
they're worth.
can't, then I gotta do what I can right now. And all the producers I've worked with have been
Super
on
chill.
it. Sherbert, Purple Matter, Wasabi, Johnny Guap, Love Jones. Sherbert. I love Sherbert. We're working on an album together right now, actually.
Okay. What kind of beats are like that speak to you the most?
Everything.
Everything.
I love being
that's
versatile.
talent. That's versatility.
Yeah, I mean, some people will have a different beat, but they sound the same, right?
Mhm.
On that beat.
Yeah.
I like to craft my flows, because people are like, oh, your lyrics were so good, I really relate, which is good to hear. Or they might just be like, your flows are great, But I'm really focused on the flows. Obviously, the music theory that I've had comes in and I feel like sets me a little bit higher than the average rapper. And yeah, I don't know.
Have you when you said the music theory, have you had formal training? Like you sat down, you said that you kind of did band,
Yeah.
So you have that kind of background, but have you sat down with a teacher, or is it something that you just kind of picked up and you're like, all right, this is where I want to go with it?
Yeah, actually, for the most part, a lot of it was YouTube, right? For my music theory, outside of me actually
YouTube
playing
education.
things. Yeah,
Yep.
seriously, it's free. There's education out
It's
there for
great,
free
yeah.
if you take it and take time to learn it. But the music theory, just coming from playing in general, even basic music theory, I suggest that every artist should learn basic music theory. It will take your skill level to the next level.
Hey. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah. So what do you do you have any new projects that you're working on now that you want to put out there and let people know about?
Right now I'm mostly just doing the Cipher Saturdays thing. Like I said, I'm working on an album with Sherbert. I don't even know what the album's going to be called or how many songs, but so I don't know exactly when that will come out. I'm sure I'll be working on collaborations with other artists in between that, because I like to keep stuff coming out. And then just performances. I've been slowing down on performances because, it's a lot. So I don't like to perform in the same area within a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And then that's really it, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem. I'm trying to finish my degree right now. It's kind of my
Yeah,
main
okay.
focus,
Well,
but-
let's talk about your degree a little bit.
So I'm a cybersecurity intern, or not intern. I'm in school for cybersecurity, and I'm also interning at a cybersecurity position.
Wow.
And I'll be done in August. So that would be nice because I took 8 years off from school just to fuck around. Yeah,
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
basically.
You got any cybersecurity rhymes? Or-
I
I know you do.
Yeah, you gotta work it in there. You gotta work it in there.
Rap about what you know.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I want to. That will happen.
All right.
Yeah.
When I hear it, I'll be like,
That was my idea.
That'll happen. I have more video game rhymes than I have.
okay.
All right, that's kind of related.
Yeah. No. Well, you'd said that you kind of got it from your Young Revolution was your,
Right.
your gamer tag on PlayStation, right?
Yep, when I was 12, and it's stuck ever since. I do love video games. I did get into game design for a little while. I did create a game. It was
What?
a Pac-Man shooter.
Oh, hey!
Like my two favorite things.
I always wondered that. Pac-Man just runs the whole time. So in your game, he actually has a gun. He turns and he's like, wait a minute.
yeah.
What am I chasing ghosts for?
And then I try to integrate it from Twitch, which I do love Twitch. I do stream on there for the last 3 years, and it was integrated
What's
to where
your-
the chat.
Sorry, throw out your Twitch name if you want.
Young Revolution 724. YUNG Revolution 724. I don't stream as much as I like to, but I do like to. I usually stick to just straight up video games on there. But yeah, it's. Oh man, I'm high. I forgot what the last.
No.
But you were talking about your video game, shooter Pac-Man.
Oh yeah, the Pac-Man shooter. What about it?
Wait, I want to know more about this. Did he have a gun? Did he have a rocket launcher?
Yeah.
Like,
He had a gun, so I never fully finished it. So it's just like a soldier character with a gun instead of like Pac-Man.
Okay.
So it looks like Pac-Man, but he has like a...
No, it's just a straight up human soldier figure with a gun running around.
What is the difference between him and Pac-Man? Like, does he collect dots?
He does collect dots.
Okay.
Yes.
I was like, what is the Pac-Man part of this if he's just a soldier?
It's a maze, right? Like a little thing. And, the teleport one at the end. And then, you can shoot. It was my logo actually for Twitch that I turned them into a 3D model and they were the enemies, like shooting lasers.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you have like a...
now.
Right? Yeah. Need to work on that.
You have a reason to bring it back. It's actually our next episode. We're streaming.
Alpha Run. Yeah.
We're gonna turn this into a video game podcast.
Yeah, exactly. It's just all about. So you have like a video game background. So is that the way that you kind of like use to relax when you're not writing rhymes and you're like, okay, what do I want to do that's not,
Usually, yeah. If it's not something outdoors, I really like being outdoors and just breathing some fresh air, or I'm smoking weed, playing video games.
Smoking weed or being outside and smoking weed.
Yeah, pretty much. It's either that or music, or I'm going out to support other people's events. That's
definitely.
much it.
So so Zane was saying that like he smokes weed before he goes on stage. I feel like if I did that, I would just like freak out and like think everybody's like looking at me or something. Is that something that helps you to like relax before you go perform on stage?
It is. I guess because I'm smoking for so long now, it's kind of like. Yeah, it just takes off the edge. I don't like to get too high. I usually just take, compared to facing a blunt, I'll just take like a few puffs and then maybe a couple shots. I'm working on just not doing any shots at all. But I am pretty shy usually outside of that, the other characters I have to be, No.
I definitely like just kind of seeing people in like most performance settings, like the person that they are on stage and the person who you're talking to after they get done on stage are like usually two different people.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Some of them are the same people and you're like, you're just as fucking weird as you were up there.
That was me when I first started performing that. It wasn't until I started looking at the videos, which I did not want to do.
That helps,
I did not, but it was like, wow, like why is my arm just doing this thing here? Why is it just hanging down? Like, I suggest looking at videos to get better and like work on it and like practice your set and movement, like like you're going to perform.
Is it like that for sound too? Like for me, I've been live streaming for a couple years now, and I noticed at first that my voice was like very shrill and high pitched. Like when I went back and I listened, I'm like, oh god, I can't even listen to this. So like I try to have like a deeper voice when I'm like going live. So is it the same with like your sound too, where it's
you're like making those small adjustments and tweaks and stuff?
Slightly. I just really, I guess, like sticking to the flows for me is like the only adjustments I really make. And then, like sometimes, you're at a show and like the mic's too loud or too low. So sometimes, the DJ or whoever the sound person is at the time isn't, adjusting it right. Sometimes you have to adjust and pull back or get louder or softer. Yeah. And I think that's something a lot of artists should take into account. I've been to quite a few shows here where I'm like, man, they're just yelling right now. And it's just not...
You can't even hear the beat.
Nothing. So, just being aware on stage and.
Well, I think it's really cool that like you take that time to go back through the stuff that you've created, like even if it is difficult. Because I've listened back to takes, I've watched videos, and just like it's so hard not to pick yourself apart, and like it's hard to see that there is something in there, that there is a diamond, in the rough that you're trying to like get out of all this, because it's so easy to just be like, ah man, my arm's weird, or like why am I rapping like that, or fucking that it's so easy to do that. So I think it's cool that you went back through a lot of your material and were just like, okay, how do I make this better? If this is what I don't like, what do I have to do so that I like it?
Right. And then also, try not to compare myself to artists who, like, there's artists who have, like, really hype songs. And, they're, like, jumping all the time and, like, and, like, me, I'm more of a,
Did I do it? Was I dabbing?
Yeah.
Did I skirt?
Swag surf or something. So it's just kind of, like, I'm different, in that sense. I don't really have, like, a whole lot of, like, I don't know, maybe a couple hype songs. I don't have a lot of songs out in general. I think I just have like 7. But trying to find that balance of like getting the crowd into it, but also because I feel like I kind of rap pretty fast a lot of times. So it's like also I want people to hear the lyrics, or even if they're just hearing the flow, that's cool. If you got to listen to my song a few times to really get every part of it, that's cool. So yeah, I'm just like kind of work on that and be hype without losing too much because maybe I gotta exercise. I don't know, but jumping up and down and rapping my songs, it's a no-go.
I feel like you have a good kind of mix blend of lyrical and also hype. Like it's a very good balance.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of the bowl of the two, for
yeah,
sure.
it's only getting. It seems like a lot of my songs are getting hyper. This album's gonna be a little chill, but started doing TikTok rap duets, and like one song I hopped on, I was like, ooh,
yeah,
like,
no,
why did I do that?
I see you. No, I see you, and that's like that's the thing that like I really appreciate because it's like, you know, I enjoy making rap, but like I'm doing so many other things that it's like I wish that like I could just sit down. I wish I could do what you do and just write a verse. You know what I mean? And just be like, boom, here's a verse. I'm gonna do this duet, you know, and just do stuff like that because it takes so much skill to just be able to write that much.
Yeah, I don't even write it. I haven't written a TikTok rap, and so like
knock over the camera. We're fucking done here.
Like I try not to write anymore because I used to write so much that I felt like it was constricting my flow. So like now I'll here's my secret. I'll basically just listen up. I go through it's like a freestyle, but it's like I like shape it, right? So like I'll hear the beat, whatever comes in mind or whatever topic I'm on to be. Once I get that first line, then I just go through the beat and keep repeating it over and over again until I come up with something next to like add on to it. And now I've gotten it down to where like, you know, a 50 something second rap duet on TikTok takes me an hour, you know, and it's like solid.
Yeah,
so
that's
just repetitive, and then by that time I'm also remembering it. By the time I finish the song or the verse, now I remember what it was. So
yeah, all right, cool. Take notes.
I only record 20 different times now to get it.
Hey, that's better than writing 50 different times.
Yeah, true.
And what is your TikTok name? Is it A Revolution on there as well?
I don't know if I want to share that.
Okay.
No, my
She's
TikTok,
like, you get one.
Yeah, I do have some comedic videos on there. I think I'm fucking hilarious, but
that's important.
Yeah, A Revolution Music on TikTok, and then A Revolution Music on Instagram as well. I pretty much post whatever's on TikTok on Instagram. Anyway,
Sure.
So,
Kind of cross stream.
Yeah.
So promote.
Do you find that your audience is mostly on TikTok, or like, because my audience is mainly on Facebook, but I'm trying to kind of diversify, and like I just started on TikTok. So is that like where your main audience is on there?
It used to be because I was on it, like I started it and I kicked it off like right off the rip, and joined like some groups that are really supportive. And when you do a lot of rap duets, you get to meet other artists as long as you check out their stuff. It takes a lot to interact. So it was my main audience then, and then now it's Instagram. So I'm realizing it's pretty much my main audience is wherever I put my most time into.
Yeah.
That's really good
TikTok
advice.
is great though for a lot of things. It's just trying to figure out the way to record, right? You can't just upload a video of you performing, right?
Nobody wants to hear the shitty audio where the DJ has it like turned way up and you're just like, wow, he's moving his lips to that beat really well.
Yeah, looks like he's going in.
No, I think that's really important that you say that. Just that, like, you realize that your audience or that you're getting the most out of the things that you're putting the most into.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's kind of like, I feel like as performers, we don't really know where we're getting, who's interacting with us, where is our support coming from, and it's like you said, you kind of have to interact with those artists that are also doing those duets.
Right.
Because I think that if you are able to pretend that sound isn't happening. If you're able to, just, somebody had said this, they're just like, are you interacting with your audience the way that you want your audience to interact with you?
Right.
Are you going to other people's stuff and being like, yo, this is dope? Are you leaving comments on their stuff so that they'll leave comments on yours?
Yeah.
Or are you just being like, cool, thanks for the comments, nerd, and then just fucking piecing out?
Yeah, that kind of was me. It was just more of like, I wanted to post, but like that's all I had time for, like, and it's not like I'm receiving a lot of comments. I get like 5 comments on TikTok, but I don't, interact with it. So, I don't know. I like that though.
Are you interacting in the way that like you want other people to interact with you?
Right.
Absolutely. Thank you, Philip, who runs
Halo Space.
Has little to do with the video game. Very little to do with the video game. Not as much as I was hoping, but still an awesome
is that
space.
a video game? I
Halo.
didn't know that. Oh, Halo.
Oh, I thought it was like Halo. I thought so too.
Halo Space, is that like the sequel?
Pretty much everything
Halo in
else
space.
on the internet that already had the Halo Space.
Yeah.
Some video game stuff. One baseball fan club.
But that's super cool. Are there any games that you're excited about since we're talking about video games? Is there anything that you're like, yo, I've been fucking playing?
So like I got into Shadow of Mordor. It was my third time playing it, but the first time where I was like, wow, this is a really good fucking game. Like I like taking over people's minds and making them join my army. Like I really enjoy that.
I was watching the homie play that.
Yeah, it's really great. And then I kind of pretty much finished it after I beat Sauron. I was like, all right, well, like what now? And then D Dooley, who's another rapper, he's a freestyler too. I love him freestyling.
She's actually wearing his shirt. That's how much we represent for D Dooley. D Dooley. D Dooley.
Yeah. Such a dope shirt, man.
Yeah.
Such a cool dude. He's been doing bars over bars, PDX, every most Wednesdays. And then he got me Elden Ring.
Oh, he got you into Elden Ring, or he got you Elden Ring?
Game shared.
Oh.
got me Elden
Really,
Ring.
I've known you longer.
Closed mouths don't get fed, you know what I'm saying? So I've been really into Elden Ring as of I just really started playing it like 2 days ago. Okay. So I'm like, and I chose a samurai. I kind of wish I did like a magic based character.
Do you like getting your ass kicked at things until you get good at it? Because that's what that game is.
I do. I mean, that's life, right?
Dude, that's what I've been trying to tell people.
If you put yourself out there, if you step out of your comfort zone, that's pretty much life.
Yeah, you have to fail a certain amount of times until you figure out what the proper solution is.
Right. Well, you can't go into the same problem the same way, right? Like I was fighting this one dude, the bloody finger Nudris or whatever, and he kept whooping my ass. And like after like the 12th time, I was like, I should probably level up.
Yeah. Honestly, I should get better so that way I can take this on. Because I definitely kind of see like that parallel where it's just like if you keep attacking the same problem the same way with the same moves and the same stats, it's like you're not going to see any progress and you're going to feel like you're not getting better. But if you take that time to get a little bit better and then come back to the same problem, like you might have gained the experience you need to
definitely
life lessons with Elden Ring.
And speaking of that, like bringing it back to the Portland music scene, what are some things that you've learned on your journey of like maybe failing and then figuring it out and like doing something different?
It's okay to fuck up. Like, I've done some shows where like I fucked up, and there's always people who are like sorry, like keep going, like you got it. And I love that. I really do. So like it's like the more I fuck up, the more times I'm like I don't fuck up, because I'm like, well, if I do, it's no big deal, right? Usually I fuck up because I'm like, oh my god, if I fuck up, like people are gonna be like, you're terrible, blah blah blah, and I'm focusing on these little things. Pretty much. When it's really like, as an artist, you might focus on that one thing you did, and it's like, you just changed somebody's life. You know what I mean? But you're worried about. One time, I think my zipper was down. I don't think anybody saw it because of my jacket. But I was like, oh, like man, like
did like this Black Lives Matter song? You're like, none of it matters.
None of it matters. Yeah.
So that's a good lesson. Make sure that your zipper's zipped up if you're going to be performing on stage.
Yes.
Did you? Were you nervous like the few times you started performing, or were you just here I go?
I was super nervous. Like I've been on stage many times, but as a guitar player outside of a solo, like you know what I mean, you're supporting. As an artist, like it's just you. You know what I mean? You're supporting yourself, and life lesson there that can be hard. But then you realize, there's other people who support you. Like there's people who want to hear new music. There's people who want to support new artists and help you get better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes, there's like that one drunk fan who's just like, you should do this and that. And then like, you just got to be nice and be like, cool, it's all right.
It's a good idea. I appreciate it. Yeah. You're enthusiastic and I like that.
I love it. You following me on Instagram, right? Cool. So yeah.
No, I think that's cool that you were kind of able to walk away from, those failures and see them as, potential for growth, because if you look at failures as only the potential to be a failure, then you don't see it at, like, if you mess up, you're like, oh, well, this is the end of the world. It didn't go perfect. But you have an opportunity to see it as, like, it didn't go perfect, but this part did go well. Like, people really enjoyed this part. They really connected with this song. They really, because me, I'll walk off stage and, like, I'll think about the one joke that didn't go well in a 15-minute set. In a 15 minutes, people could be losing their minds. I'm like, remember when you tripped over that one word at the beginning? And it's like, doesn't matter.
They're like,
it does not matter.
Today, Junior, like they were totally thinking.
But
that's how you get better, though. I think like if you're kind of a perfectionist in your art, like that's how you get better. But if you're just like, yeah, I did great, whatever, here I come, like you have that false confidence, and you like don't, you know, try to get better. You know, try to better yourself.
Yeah.
So
Gotta
I
keep
think
getting
that's
better.
good to do too. To pick yourself apart a little bit, but also keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause if you don't, I mean, you'll be stagnant.
Yeah. Well, I think like fear just keeps a lot of people, you know, and like it's just kind of like going back to freestyling, because it's like freestyling is something that like I'd one of my favorite rappers, you know, Idea. He was like a Minneapolis. I'm from the Midwest, so
familiar.
yeah,
I'm
it's
from
like
St. Paul.
atmosphere,
Yeah,
atmosphere, idea and abilities,
sayers.
rhyme sayers, all that. And so he was like just this crazy freestyler. He rap battle all these people, like just like the craziest stuff. And like I always just appreciated freestyling. But the thing is like in order to freestyle, you have to be willing to not only fail, but to fail in front of people.
Yeah.
And you know, because you can fucking kick the dopest freestyle by yourself, but nobody fucking heard it, so who cares? You know what I mean? But like when you get in front of people, that's when you find out like, okay, how much of this, you know, practice muscle memory is it that I can apply to the game?
Right.
You know?
That and making sure you don't say some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
That's like the hardest part for
Trying
me.
not to say
Making sure you're not
something.
offending people.
Yeah, like you're coming up with these, you know, rhymes off the top, not just rhymes, but you're coming up with flows, and
It's a
all
stream
this
of
stuff.
consciousness.
Yeah, you know, and you might say some crazy things, and then
Yep.
you're like, oh, can't take that back.
Well,
Like,
just have to make it rhyme.
Yeah.
All right, well.
yeah, I think that's the hardest part, though, is people feel like they have to be rhyming everything, and you know, I've heard people like go off on a freestyle and like, you know, for the first 5 bars, like nothing rhymed, but it's the fact that they kept going and they're working on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. The nice thing about freestyling is that like if you start off like kind of sucking, you can come back strong and like wait a minute, here I come back around.
Yeah, and
Rhyming.
in my experience, a lot of people mostly mess up when they're trying to like do something they were thinking about before, like maybe not pre-written, but you were kind of standing there waiting for it to go next, and you're just like,
Yo, I'm
like
gonna
I can
say
do this, and that, rather than just going off of maybe, you know,
the last
however
word
somebody
they said, or the flow.
something, and that's where people stumble a lot in my experience. But you know, as long as you keep going, you know, or even if you're just like, oh, hold on, let me catch it again, like people are gonna wait for it, because they're gonna be like, all right, like I want to see this person's progress, how well they get.
I think more often than not, people do want to see you succeed. You know, like I think that, you know, nobody wants to see you fail, but everyone enjoys watching an epic fail. You know, like nobody wants to see you do bad, but like if you're gonna do really bad, people kind of want to see that. But I think for like the most, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to see somebody lose a race, but you'll laugh if they like, you know, fall over a hurdle. You're like, oh, that was an epic fail.
Well, first it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
But you know, I think that, you know, just kind of being able to like, you know, get past that fear, and even being able to like frame things in your mind, because you know it is very much stream of consciousness. It is very much like what comes to your head is what you're saying, you know, and it is very much like on the spot. Can I create the coolest thing, you know, with everything that I have right now, just with everything I have right now?
Right.
And so it takes a lot of courage to be able to, you know, to be able to do that, and to have the courage to get good at that, because it's like, it's something that like I used to, you know, mess around, get drunk at a party and be like, all right, dope, okay, no guys, I got it this time. No, turn on a beat. No, not that one. Okay. And so it's to being able to freestyle. I think that like you have a lot of, you know, really cool perspectives on that are just, you know, can kind of be applied to like other places in life, where it's just like, hey, don't be afraid to fail. You know, if you are going to fail, come at it different the next time.
Do better. And that's, like I said, what I really love about Cipher Saturdays, like people have an opportunity to do that. I mean, it is being streamed live, you know, worldwide, but
if you fail, everyone saw it.
You know, and they can go back to it and watch it again.
Exactly.
But,
watch you trip over that hurdle.
It's on replay now. Now there's a catchy song to it.
There's a TikTok
on
video
replay.
to it. This is pretty good.
Hey,
Hits the beat.
any press is good press, though, right?
That's what they say. I don't know though.
I've seen some pretty bad press out there. That wasn't so when you're freestyling, do you find that like when you're doing more things in your life and you have a lot going on, you have more to talk about, or can you just like freestyle about anything? Like you're like sitting at home, like watching TV, like you can rap about that
like
kind of thing,
cybersecurity.
Back soon. I don't know. Like sometimes I get caught up like in for me, like I get caught up in like rhymes, right? Like rather than like the topic.
Yeah.
And then I have like every freestyler has like go-tos where like if I can't think of anything, this is what my mouth says automatically while my brain is thinking. And I'm trying to like remove that because I keep saying certain things like too often, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
like I'm trying to like get better on that. Man, some good weed. I totally forgot the question though.
I was asking like when you are freestyling, like if you're not really doing, like, can you just rap about anything?
Oh,
or
yeah.
like if you're like, you know, more active in your life, like you're doing the like rock climbing or like playing video games or whatever, like you have more to talk about, or is it just like?
Probably, like I said, I end up tending to go into those go-tos, but I probably should start like rapping about stuff like that. I feel like a lot of people do like rap about what's going on in their life when they freestyle because it just kind of comes out. It's like a spoken word healing for yourself.
Yeah.
But I guess I try not to do that in public, so I end up just going to I'm a motherfucking G. I didn't know something, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
when you
hype
say I
yourself
try
up,
not to do
that's
that in public, do you mean open up?
Well, I mean, yeah. Like, I might say something I didn't know. You know what I mean? Now I'm self-realizing in front of everybody. Now I gotta go
guess I
sit down
need to
and
work
think.
on that.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you like talk about your dark side and like that kind of stuff, people gravitate toward it. You know, like
True.
I feel like
I mean,
people can relate to that too. So that's
I don't know.
another good thing. But also, people like to hear about how badass you are.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck yeah, I'm that person in that song. I'm badass.
Yeah. I don't know. Instead, I usually like, I don't know, somehow I always go to like the runnings jokes. Like, I like older guys, right? Like, when dude's older, and it's always like, yeah. I think one time I was at Rip City Basement's show at Khalifa Social Club, and I was like, yeah. Just going off freestyling, and my like got cotton mouth, and I'm like, man, I need some water. If your father's in the crowd, tell him to come and eat me out. And I was like, oh. And then you can't stop, right? I was like, pause, hold up. She said that. Yeah, she really meant it. I'm thinking. I'm
At
like,
that point, you just have to go for it.
yeah, you gotta go for it. But now it's my go-to, right? Like, because
That's
everybody's
funny.
like, yeah, there's a revolution talking about older men again.
That's so good. Well, I mean that's just kind of like proof of like, you know, that it can start off as a mistake and then it can be like, you know what, like your recovery from that mistake is almost
Yeah.
more miraculous than if you had just landed it.
It is.
perfect.
People loved it. Everyone was like, "Oh!" Like, I was
Yeah.
like, "All right, that kind of felt good." Yeah, but really, I need water, please.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. I love freestyling in front of people. I want to get to like start implementing. Like I think what would help with topics is like having like a word pop up maybe every now and then. Go with some Harry Mack shit. I want Harry Mack to come through to Cipher Saturdays. I'm saying it now. He will come to Cipher Saturdays one of these days. He's insane.
Yep, it's gonna happen. You put it out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think that helps like stay on topic and like instead of just focusing on rhyme. So I'll probably start doing that.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, it's super
Yeah.
dope.
What's your favorite? You said that you performed at. I think is that a dispensary or like the
Khalifa Social
Khalifa
Club is
Social
a weed smoking lounge. They let you bring in your own food. They have CBD drinks and water and chess and you know, they put on shows there every now and then. It's been great. They had an Afro Man meet and greet there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty cool place for sure.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite place to perform at in Portland?
In Portland. I really enjoyed the Alberta Abbey show.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. But
Was it the audience? Was it the venue? Was it the
I think it was
people you
the-
perform with?
I think it was just the stage.
Just a cool ass stage. Hey,
Like
it
I do
makes
like
all
the
sense.
venue. I think I said on like because it's almost like an old church turned into a venue kind of thing.
Okay.
But they have like the chairs there and stuff, and I feel like if there weren't chairs like at a certain point, like people could be more, you know, up front and more like a show. But I also like that because it makes people like be civilized.
Yeah, right. I can see you, motherfucker. I know you're on your phone.
Yeah. You can't see anything on that stage. That's what I also like.
Oh, that's
Okay, it's like
Because
the
all the
lights are shining
lights
on
and
you, and
the-
then it's
Yeah,
like
you're
crowd.
blinded.
Okay.
You're like,
See,
I
that's how I would like to perform because like I can perform on a live stream, and I was talking about this on our last episode too. But just like having all the eyes looking at me would make me nervous on stage. So just like having.
Is that why when I asked you if you wanted to do a live show, you're like, we'll think about it.
Yeah, well, maybe in the future.
It's the momentary contact you make with like a person. Like when you feel like sometimes I'm just like grazing through the crowd, and then sometimes like I stop because I'm like making sure I remember the right words, and like I happen to stop locking eyes with somebody, and I'm like, oh wow, I've been staring at this person for a while, but like
Yeah.
I don't know, that does make me feel a little awkward sometimes, but I usually feel awkward most times, so it's okay.
Yeah, me too.
Adapt and overcome.
Yeah.
Yep. Something I have to figure out on stage.
Yeah.
So is that like a tool that you use? Is like finding somebody who like you feel comfortable like looking at, like in the
Kinda
crowd?
like-
Do you have any other tips for like performing on stage for newcomers?
Weirdly enough, even looking at people I do know, like I still feel awkward. Like, like I don't know. I guess because
Like
it's such a
staring into their
drastic
souls.
change. Yeah, I feel like
Putting a
I'm
lot
such
on
a.
you.
All of this. If I mess up, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Look at me.
I'm the captain.
I'm the captain now. Yeah, I don't know. It's just what was the question?
Like what are some tips for
Tips.
performing on stage to like make you feel more comfortable?
Oh, I don't know. I was gonna say like most times I'm looking at the
Weed,
person
we got
I
that.
know. And,
Smoke weed every
I love
day.
it. Yeah, just gassed up Portland. That's some great weed, man.
Just turn the vaporizer on and perform. Like,
Yeah, then everybody be too chill, too high to do. Everybody throw your hands up.
like I thought my hands were up.
Yeah, they're not?
I think the main tip is really just like take a deep breath before you get on stage. If being nervous is okay, like if you're not nervous, I mean, I don't know.
Don't care.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I always get nervous beforehand. At 2 shows, I actually like threw up before, and this was like after like I've been like established, where I'm like, all right, like I got this.
Yeah.
Because
Those
it
nerves still
happens.
get you. No,
Yeah,
those nerves still get
it
you.
happened, and it was at a really small venue, and it still happened. So just like it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to feel like maybe you're not ready, but you have to trust yourself and your process. You know that when you get on stage, like you've done this before, and you're gonna fucking nail that shit. And if you don't,
Oh well.
do better next time.
Yeah.
Like-
No, I think that's something that like I really try to remember when I get on stage. Is just like I've done this before. It's like a mantra where it's just like I've done this before. I can do it again.
Like riding a bike.
It's
as
like
they
riding
say.
a bike. My dad wasn't there to teach me. Gotcha.
So do you like it when your friends are there for moral support? Because I know Zane, like whenever I go to any of his shows, like all his buddies are there, and I'm like, wow, this is cool that you have this community and this support. Like for me, if I was performing, I'd be like, I wouldn't tell anybody about it. Like the
nobody
first few
comes.
shows,
Yeah.
like, I'd be like,
Let me
I don't want
get good,
anybody
then
to
I'll
be
tell
there.
you.
And then
Yeah,
like 10 shows later, I'll invite you.
I don't know. I definitely enjoy that my friends they do come through and support and things like that. See, there it goes again.
No, you're all good. Does it?
One more time. What was it?
Do you like it when your friends are there for moral support, or do you kind of just like?
Does it help?
Does
Like
it
seeing
help?
people or is it like, oh God, I don't want to mess up in front of this person?
I think so, because the only 2 times I threw up was when my dude was there,
Okay.
and it's like, well, that's the
That would
only
be me, that would be
change.
me.
Yeah, it was like maybe I don't want to fuck
Change
up in
what
front of
variable?
him, like but he's heard me create the songs and stuff, so it's
Yeah.
like I don't know. So it's kind of different. I like when my friends are there simply for the fact that I kind of like if I don't really know anybody or like somebody's not there, then I'll just be on the side in the back somewhere, and I'm not really like the one that goes to a show to be like, yeah, like throw your hands. I'm usually just like in the back like this. That's how you know I'm rocking with you. Where I'm like, or I'm just like staring intently, like I'm listening to the lyrics, and
Yeah.
flow, like all of it. So yeah, having people there that I know like helps me get more comfortable with the area.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can relate to that where it's just, I don't know, because being an artist is such a fucking isolating, solitary thing where it's just like, all right, I got to sit down, write this song by myself. All right,
Yeah.
now I have to go to the show by myself. Now I have to like meet everybody, do it by my. It's such a thing that's by yourself. That's like when I have people there that I'm like, oh, I can look out in the crowd and be like, that's the homie, like that's, I might feel fucking weird around all these people, but I have one person I can go out to in the crowd and be like, hey, fucking thank you for making it. Let's go smoke 1,000,000 cigarettes. Let's get way too high. Then when I mess up, you'll be like, I told you smoke too much. And we'll fucking look at each other and laugh, and it'll be fucking fine.
You were right, man.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah. No, and I think that was a really good question, just because that for some people it can make you. It can be the thing that, because they say like when you go to perform something, you either are energized by a crowd or fucking terrified by a crowd,
Right.
and it either makes you do better or it makes you do worse.
It's never both. Like you're terrified, but you're also like, wow, this is energizing me.
I feel like sometimes it is. I feel like sometimes I think like the fear. What about you?
I would say so. The fear kind of like, I don't even know if it's fear anymore. I think it's just, I don't know. I couldn't explain it. Just those butterflies, but it's like kind of gets me going to where like if I didn't feel that, would I be as excited to be on stage?
Yeah,
You
you're
know?
just bored up there, like, okay, I'm doing this again. Like,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
here
I
we
really
go
want to
again.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I think I don't know. I think that like just caring about like your nervousness is almost because you care about it. You
Right.
know, like if you didn't care about it, then you'd be like, yeah, well, fucking, who cares how it goes? You
Yeah,
know?
fuck it. We're too drunk to even perform. I ain't a rain check, guys.
Dope. Well, what about so as far as like new stuff? When can we expect something? When can I expect something? When can I be excited to be
When's
like,
the new thing
yo,
dropping?
my homie, put me on Afro Samurai?
Yeah, serious though. We need to look into that. I really don't have a time specifically for anything. Like I said, I kind of took a step back from performing more just so I could focus on school.
Yeah.
And get that out the way so that I can take over the world. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be waiting for it.
Yeah, thank you. But I'm sure I'll have some singles out. I'm trying to get better at like promoting, like marketing, instead of just like, oh, I made this song, it's done, let's throw this shit out.
I put it out one time and I was like, nobody listened. I guess I suck. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you put it
pretty
out
much.
one time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Zane is really good at that too. Like you're always posting. Like I see some people making music and they like put the song out once, but you're like, listen to this, it's still here.
Yep,
Like
here's a
you
song
do
that
good
kind
job
of reminds
that.
me
Yeah.
of this. I tried to.
Yeah. I am trying to implement. Just like TikToks, for example, like that would be really good. Like I know one thing that would help is just posting the same thing every day and getting out of that mindset
What do you mean?
what do you mean, like posting
Posting the
every day?
same. You said posting the same thing every day.
Well, like
Same content?
like if you want to promote something, like you can for TikTok, it's better to like promote that same song like continuously, and yeah, just promote that
Got some
same
background
song
music.
continuously, but like not the same way, like not posting the same video, but promoting this song, sticking to it, and waiting for it, or not waiting for it, but to making it get out to more people. I think a lot of times we don't want to post things over and over. Some people don't want to post things over and over again because they're like, well, all the people on my friends list already saw it. Well, what about the people who haven't seen it?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like that's an extra
Algorithm's
fan right there.
so dumb.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
get me started.
Am I
man.
bad, or did the people who should have seen it just didn't see it?
Right.
Right.
Like TikTok doesn't know what to do with my style of rap. Like they're just like, okay, well, just move
Cool, you
on to
made
the
it.
next.
Posted a couple more times, I guess.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, I was getting a lot of traction doing the rap duets,
Yeah.
but then it's like if you do anything else on your page, like it puts you in this like side algorithm, and it's like, okay, like I'm not doing music anymore. Now I'm getting like cat videos and stuff, or like I do like little skits and stuff sometimes. So
Yeah.
I'm working on trying to make it like strictly music.
Strictly music.
Because there's like the side of like people want to know who you are outside as an artist,
Yeah.
but then also TikTok and algorithms want you to just post one fucking thing apparently. So unless you're
Yeah.
famous, right? Like or made
Yeah.
it with the verified. So I'm working on that.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, it sounds like you're trying to understand different aspects of it, where it's like, all right, I got rapping down, now what do I need to do? I need to figure out how to market myself. All right,
Right.
now that I figured out how to market myself, what do I want to market?
Yeah.
So it sounds like you really like are just taking the steps, sequentially of like, okay, now that I have this, now what do I do now? How do I take over the world? I
Yeah,
can finish this
one
fucking
step at a
degree,
time.
and then we go.
Yeah, one step at a time, and like I said, I've just received so much support with people who shout me out simply because they just love what I do and they believe in me. You know what I mean? Like a lot of producers who have worked with me without, charging. It's like, hey, 50-50. I'm like, you can have 100 if you want. Like,
Yeah,
I just
for
want to
real.
get this stuff out.
It'd be
and-
no song if you didn't give me a beat.
Right, exactly. So I did partner up with Free Agents PDX.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit.
Yeah, they've been really helping me out. JC's the owner. We have Brimmer Baton, DJ Aspen. We have Soul Luna. Just a lot of great people.
Roulette, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
really been popping off.
yeah, I mean it's crazy. So I'm glad that I could like meet them, and that was for, through just like going to venues
Yeah,
and like
just
showing
doing your
support.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Absolutely.
been really nice. I mean, they're even paying for my dental work, so like that's
Wow.
yeah, that's nice. Your artist has to have a good smile, right? Like,
That's
My
important.
money maker.
yeah,
That's the first thing people see. So
right.
for sure.
So it's been really good. Like I said, I've just received so much support out here compared to I realized that probably didn't take off with music, even though I've been dabbling in rap for 9-something years. It didn't take off until I got here, and it wasn't like the guy I was with at the time was supporting me. He was telling me to do this and that, but it's also kind of like for some reason I feel like a lot of people don't take things to heart with people they care about, right? Because we're looking for like those outside ones. It's like, oh, you're just gonna tell me that because
Yeah. You already like me. I need to impress that person over there.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And rather than focus on like, impressing somebody, you have to like put stuff out that you like. And of course, obviously if you want to be like, that top spot, you have to also put out things that, that have already been tested and, tried and proven. Was it tried and true? Tested and proven, tried and proven. Same thing.
Both. Yep.
Yeah, so it's just, I don't know, it's a whole process.
Yeah.
But I do love the support out here.
Absolutely.
Nice.
No, I'm glad that we were able to just even have you on this podcast. Just
Yeah,
because,
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I really appreciate what you do, and thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Is there anything that you want to put out there before we close out for the day?
No, follow me, A Revolution Music, on Instagram. arevolutionmusic.com is where you can find everything A Revolution, as well as the Cipher Saturdays. That is May 7th at 7 p.m. Please check it out. Yeah, and that's all.
Check it out.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Well, this has been another episode of
Off the Cuff with Des and Zane. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we will see you next week.
Peace, Love, Donuts.
Pew pew.